Right guys, welcome back to another video on the Ford Capri. Now, in this video, we need to start working on it now. The car does need a little bit of work, as you'd expect from an old car. But to be honest, it's nothing really serious. It's just kind of like little cosmetic niggles in the interior and the engine bay. But also the fuel gauge isn't working. Neither is the blower for the heater, but that's not really that, important. But what is important is the fuel gauge. So that'll be the first protocol of this video, is to hopefully get that working. Because the car's so basic, I'm guessing it's maybe the wiring that goes to the sender unit and the fuel tank, or it's the sender unit itself, the kind of little float inside. So I'm going to be concentrating on that in the first part of this video, but also we have some other little bits and bobs to do as well. Like, I bought a little inline fuel filter to go on the kind of fuel lines that goes to the carb, just to stop any kind of crap going to the carb and clogging up the jets and things like that. Just a precaution really. So that's something else I'm going to put on the car today as well. Also, just for extra measure, I want to drain all the coolant and actually flush it out like continuously, so it's all cleared out, there's no crap in it. Also, this is something else the car needs, which is quite important, but I'll get this at a later date if I can source one. The car needs a new fuel tank, because it was only after I got the car I noticed there's like kind of a tiny bit of fuel dripping, but it's not excessive, so that's not really a problem. So yeah, it needs a new fuel tank. So with that being said, let's get on with today's video. When you just look at that, it's just started raining. Actually, I've just realised I've got a gazebo. Let's get it up. Sorted. Oh, it's absolutely pissing it down, by the way. Absolutely pissing it down. So yeah, jack the side up, get the wheel off, get access to that sender unit, and then we'll see if we can remove the wires for the kind of fuel gauge, clean them up, and hopefully that fixes the problem. So let's get it jacked up, get the wheel off, and crack on. Right, here we are anyway, and as I said, everything's actually in quite good condition, to be honest. I mean, yeah, she's okay. Brand new Sportex exhaust system. That's the wires I'm telling you about right there. I did, however, find a bit of rot somewhere up there. I can't actually see, to be honest. There's it needs a bit of welding up there somewhere. I can't remember where. Yeah, right there. So it's like right in there. It needs a bit of welding, and there's a little bit of a hole just there as well. But like, that's actually quite solid. It's just the kind of rubber grommet that's gone missing, and the outer bit is kind of rotted away, but that's actually solid down there, so that just needs patched up. That's not too bad, actually. Ah, fucking hell. Ah, fucking hell. Right, so judging by how severely corroded those connections were, I would say, yeah, that's potentially why the fuel gauge wasn't working, is just because of the severe corrosion on them terminals. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean them up and then try and hook them back up again, even though one of the connectors is broken, and see if we can get the gauge working. So yeah, I'll back the camera in a minute. And also I think I have to make up new connectors, because I mean, these ones are just so corroded. I mean, I'm not sure you can see on camera, but I mean, there's just no way that even if I do clean them terminals up, that these are going to get a good connection and allow the fuel gauge to work. So right, that's much better. I just went over it with the Dremel, a wee kind of attachment here. It's pretty handy, this. So yeah, got it perfect. Yeah, again, no idea you can see on camera, but the connection's nice and kind of shiny now, rather than being brown and rusty. So hopefully I should get a good connection now. It fucking works. Yeah, we got fuel. Oh my god. So there's actually a lot more fuel than I realised. Right, let me show you what I've done, because obviously I don't actually have any of those connectors, as I mentioned, so I literally just kind of put some wiring on it just to try and test it. But I mean, look. And it works. Well, that's one job ticked off the list. Really happy with that, because that's a nice, simple, easy fix. So really all it was is just corroded connectors and things like that. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. If this is a new car, this could be a whole lot of other problems, but no. On an old classic car, never a bother. Right guys, so I'm just back from Halford. I had to get brand new bullet connectors, because obviously I didn't have any. So yeah, we got two brand new packs. These are actually quite expensive. I mean, I only needed two, but I had to buy a pack. So yeah, it is what it is. So, and there we go guys, that's it sorted. With brand new connectors and just some kind of Tesa tape just to kind of tidy it up and insulate it and kind of protect it. yeah, job done. Right guys, so it's time to get under the bonnet and explain some things. So, now, first thing you may notice, which I'm going to touch on, is obviously how the outer bits here, obviously the sides of the engine bay, are painted black. Now, this is a point I'll try to prove. This is probably the one thing I least kind of like, really. I'm hoping to speak to some place called Loch Ness Restorations, who I'm hoping we can kind of sort something out and get this all painted so it's the same colour as the car, just to make the engine bay look more presentable, because I mean the engine itself looks fine. I mean, it's quite clean. I would like to either replace this or actually heat wrap it, just to make the manifold kind of bit look more presentable. So yeah, I'll probably heat wrap that. Apart from that, everything looks okay really. Also, this kind of patch welding that's been done here, I'd like that probably cut out again, and obviously welded, maybe a bit more presentable and smoothed out, so it looks yet again more presentable. Also, I'd like to get the brake servo here probably removed and yet again resprayed and powder coated, because it's a bit scabby. What do you expect from an old car really? I mean, honestly, I've seen newer cars in worse condition than this, so I'm sorry, but new cars, you know, you can't really speak much for them, because I've seen some pretty shit heaps out there compared to this. Now also, the battery tray, yet again, Capris are very common for this, is the battery tray is rotting out. Now I think, if I remember correctly, it's a little bit rotten down there but not excessive. But yet again, I'll probably, while the engine bay is getting painted by Loch Ness Restorations, if that goes ahead, I'll get them to obviously remove this battery tray and weld in a brand new one. So yet again, that's something else will get done as well. You probably think I've lost my marbles, but I've just removed the fog lights for the time being, primarily because they are quite heavy and it was weighing down the bumper and actually kind of making it like kind of set a funny angle and things like that. But this is my personal preference. I'll probably put it back on again. I mean, when they were on, they weren't even wired up anyway, so it's kind of pointless them being there. But regardless, I think it kind of cleans up the front end of the car, in my opinion. As I said, I want to install this small inline fuel filter just here, just in case any particles of dirt get into the carburetor. So yeah, again, it's just a precaution. You can't go wrong really. It only costs about £3 from Euro car parts, so you know, whatever. Let's get it installed. Alright guys, there we go. I just hope it'll be okay, because I mean, hope this is like the right kind of filter for this kind of thing. I mean, only one way to find out. Let's start up and see. Right, so it's running fine now with that little filter on it. It sounds silly, I even got like the little water thing there, the little water hose, just in case this, for whatever reason, exploded and burst into flames. Old cars, you can't take any chances. But I mean, yeah, it seems to do the job just fine really. It's quite cool. You can actually see the fuel inside it as well, so it's nice and clean as well, so I can actually see how clean the fuel is, if that makes sense. Right, so the next thing I want to turn your attention to is the coolant. I mean, it just looks disgusting really. So the plan is we're going to pop the bottom coolant hose off, let it all drain out, get the garden hose into here and hopefully flush it all out, get rid of all the crap really, because I mean that just looks disgusting, all the crap that's in that radiator. I mean, I don't know how bad it is, but I mean, I've got fresh coolant going anyway. So anyway, let's crack on. Right, so I've just removed the little reservoir tank here, or whatever we want to call it, for the coolant, and just get a load of how dirty it is in here. Like, 2 secs. Jesus Christ. Yep, that needs cleaned out. Right, obviously that's the header tank washed out and cleaned and reinstalled with some brand new nuts and washers just to kind of tidy things up a little bit. You probably could spend more time getting inside that clean, but I mean, the worst of it is out. I mean, I wouldn't mind buying a brand new one if you can buy the brand new, but I mean, yeah, I might take this off again and clean it properly in the future, but the worst of it's out, it's clean, that's the main thing. So yeah, all we need now is just fill up a coolant and then we can move on to the next job. Right, that's the coolant done, and obviously the header tank on. Now I think the next job I think I'm going to do is, because it's been bugging me for a while, and it's easy and quick and I can do it now, is this kind of shroud here for the radiator. I mean, I understand that the rest of the engine bay is getting painted, but this panel here, I'm going to remove this. It's held on by what, a few screws, and take it off, grind it back down, paint it red to match the rest of the car. So let's crack on. Also, since this is off, I've gone down here with Q-Rust. Now all here is actually really solid, there's no actual rot, there's just surface rust. So when I open it with obviously Q-Rust, this stuff is very, very good, keeps the rust away, and obviously you can put it on like obviously with paint and stuff like that. So I'm going to put it all in the areas where there is rust. Obviously you can't actually see this, so I mean whatever. So yeah, I've done it with this, and then I'm going to paint it. Not sure I'm going to just go black or maybe go the same colour as the car yet, but down here is very solid, very good condition, so I want to actually keep it that way. So since this is off and going to get painted, I'm just going to do down here as well. While I'm down there, it just makes sense. Right, let's give it a wee grind down, just with the angle grinder. Turns out I actually had to use a flat disc because that black shite, which is really nasty stuff, the other thing wouldn't get rid of it, so I had to go with a flat disc, which got most of it off. Obviously it's not going to be perfect. Yet again, when the engine bay has been resprayed, I'll get things like this powder coated properly. This is just a temporary thing, just to look better than it already is. So it's still an improvement. But yeah, there's a little bits here I couldn't get to with the angle grinder, like edges there. But yeah, again, in the future, bits like this, I'll probably get brand new ones or get these powder coated and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, let's just get a coat of paint on it so it looks better than it does. Right, that's the first coat done. Yet again, it's not going to be perfect, but in the future, things like this will be getting done properly. It's just a temporary thing because that black is just doing my nutting. I need some red in the engine bay like it was originally to break it up and make it look better. So anyway, let that dry, then I'll bring it up with the camera when it's done. Right, it's actually a new day. The bit of metal is dry. I put it on, so let me show you. Right, now I know it actually looks orange because like of the sun and things like that. It's really not really helping the kind of camera quality, to be honest, but that's it on with all kind of brand new screws. Definitely looks a good bit better. Anyway, I mean, despite the camera quality probably not being that great because the sun interfering with the kind of camera quality, but yeah, I'd say it does look a lot better. Can't wait to actually get the whole engine be painted, because as I said, the engine actually looks pretty damn good, to be honest. I mean, with that's already been painted and a lot of kind of stuff, so I mean, all I have to do is just get the engine be painted. So yeah, happy with that. Right, so that wraps up this video. I'm actually really happy with everything that's been done in this video. All those things were kind of bugging me, especially the fuel gauge. I'm really happy that's working. So, you know, if you did like this video, then please give it a thumbs up. That actually helps my videos get recognised, so that's why I was asked for a thumbs up and stuff like that. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see more of the Capri, plus I've got a 300 brake Corsa B, which obviously is right there. If you want to see more content on that, then also subscribe to as well, because I've got one more video doing that, and then it's going in the garage to get a lot of work done and get the underside restored and things like that. So expect that in a future video as well. Won't be anytime soon, but you will see it eventually. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.